Release versus reward. This is actually a really common question that I get. And recently, I was teaching a positive reinforcement horse training clinic, and a well-meaning gentleman came up to me at the end of the clinic and wanted to ask a question. And his question went like this. He said, I want to make sure that my horses feel rewarded for the work that they do. We often work cattle, and I know it's hard work, and I give them a release as much as I can. You know, I give them a release from pressure of the rein, or give them a release from pressure of my leg, and then when I get done, I take the girth off and release that. And is that the same thing as positive reinforcement? And I think the best way to answer that question is just by providing a couple of analogies. I know it's kind of a controversial topic, so I think the analogies will bring some clarity. And that is, if someone was to put you in jail, and you're in jail, and you're miserable, and then all of a sudden one day you are let out of jail, you're released from jail, would you feel like you had been rewarded by being released, or would you just feel like someone had let you get back to normal? I think there's a big difference there. So another analogy that I often use is that if someone took your hand and they forced your hand to be held in a very hot burner, and your flesh was burning and your hand was blistering, and suddenly they allowed you to yank your hand away from the burner, would you be grateful and feel like you had been rewarded by being allowed to take your hand away from that burner? Or would you just feel like you had been released from the pain? And on top of that, how would you feel about the person that had held your hand to the burner? Would you be grateful for the fact that they put your hand on the burner? Or would you be mad at them? So I think that speaks a lot to the way our horses can feel a lot of times. Whenever we're releasing them from something, we're just letting them get away from something that they would have avoided in the first place, either because it was fear-inducing, or because it caused pain, or because it made them uncomfortable. Whenever we're providing reward, like we do in positive reinforcement and reward-based training, we're providing something that the horse values, something that they would want to move toward anyway, like food or friends or scratches or something that they might find pleasant or comfortable, versus releasing them from something that they really would like to avoid and that they are finding unpleasant. So I hope that this answers the question about the difference between release and reward. And if you want to know more about positive reinforcement horse training, you can check us out at CompassionateHorseClick.com. And I'm Melissa Spell Deal. Thanks for listening.